The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered 12. I covered.
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Welcome to football, everybody. How are you? It is a Thursday for the Bostonian versus the book. Live on YouTube, live on Twitter, replay on SiriusXM channel 159, and on Sports Grid Television. Matt Perrault, the Bostonian, Dave Sharapan, the book. We have a lot to get to today, Mr. Sharapan. We have not one, but two different guests are coming on the show today. The lines are out for all the contests here in Vegas. Everyone's all a buzz about it. Lines just came out for the Circa Million. We'll get to that here in just 1 second. But how are you on this Thursday?
Oh, we're good, man. We're ready to go. Pat and the boys are on ESPN. That set off a whole nother thing. Everybody's texting, talking. Where are the lines? The lines are coming. If you're in a Brigade Proxy service, you should have gotten an email. If you didn't, please reach out. But it should be done. The lines are all out for everybody to see. Survivor picks are already coming in. I mean, we've been talking about football season starting. You're ready. You're prepared. And then literally everybody wakes up on Thursday and goes, it's here. What do we do now? Everybody relax. Everybody breathe. That's it.
Bernie Fratto is going to be on. He is a Lions insider, worked for a long time in Detroit.
Yes.
He will give us the Lions side. We got the Chiefs side yesterday with a good talk with Alex Gold from 610 Sports in Kansas City. We'll do the other side of the game tonight with our friend Bernie Fratto here in Las Vegas from Fox Sports Radio. And then a little bit later on, we'll do Eagles. It's Eagles Day. It's why Dave and I are both wearing Eagles stuff. We'll do the Eagles team total and the look for the Eagles. Dan Alexander's writing an article this year on the Eagles. So we'll talk about that a little bit as to where you guys can find that article and what you guys can do with it. But I mean, in some way, not even some way, we talked about it yesterday a bit. I mean, this is cool. The road to Vegas starts tonight, Dave. I mean, this is the start to come. It begins in Kansas City tonight. It ends in Las Vegas.
It does. I can't believe it. I say it all the time. We've been driving by the stadium. And now everybody's going to come here in February for the big game and all the parties and everything else. So we can say it. I've been saying it for 6 months. Nobody's been listening. Oh, they have been listening. They have been watching. And again, if you are, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. That number's inching up every day, the number of subscribers. Trying to get to the comments, trying to get to all the interaction. If you watch the show live, get in the chat. You can talk to us through the chat while we do the show, talk to each other. It's a pretty cool community. And, I mean, who knows? If somebody, can put it together, we can have a BVB Brigade meetup at the Super Bowl. Not maybe go to the game, but maybe something else. Talking about a cookout, smoker, meat, curtains, all of it.
We'll figure out. We may have we may do something. It could be interesting to see what happens. How it goes down, when it goes down, whatever, but we're here. I've never had this. Everyone's going to come to us. The Super Bowl is here. So we have some opportunities to do some cool stuff. Everyone's going to be, already contacting. Hey, what are you guys doing? You're in Vegas. What are you doing for the Super Bowl? And friends of mine going, I need a couch. How about yours for the Super Bowl?
Right.
I'm like, really don't know yet. Like, let's just pump the brakes. I'm not going to commit to anything. Like, real good friends of mine know that I've got spare bedrooms. And they're like, hey, your couch upstairs? Why can't I sleep on that?
These dogs yet? I don't know.
Yeah, most of them. Well, the dogs are supposed to be gone by February. So, they shouldn't be here. Come February, I should be very down 2 animals in this house come February. If I don't, I'm going to be really pissed off. But that's very possible given the way the track record as this is going. These things probably still will be here, but they were supposed to have been gone by then. So I've been told 4 times now they should have been gone, but we'll see how that goes in February.
Can we mention our producer and his?
Please.
Let's
Please.
get this out of the way. Every day, Will watches the show for us and edits it. We apologize to him every day for swearing because it makes his job harder, but he does such a great job with it. And then he does these shorts for us. He's a big part of the show. And I woke up this morning to a text from Will that his brother, younger brother, an officer in Hartford, Connecticut, was killed last night in a horrific sounding accident where a young kid ran a couple red lights and crashed into a car. And he's gone. His brother's gone. And I mean, I spoke to him. It was very, very, words were hard to find. And, he's, that's his only sibling. He said he was married to the job. He always wanted to be a police officer like their dad. And he went out doing what he was meant to do and all this other stuff. And there were just words exchanged and genuine, from someone I've never met, love felt, and things expressed as well as they could have in a minute. His phone was ringing and he's got a million things going on because he's got a lot on his plate. So he won't be here with us. So we'll try our best to give the substitute teacher not a big job to do. We'll try to watch our language today. But I wanted you guys to know because you're a big part of the show and expressed, send well wishes to Will and his family. It's just a major thing that we all are going through something. This show is always forward, never straight. I heard that from a kid that I coached, and it's a mantra for life. You really never know. Tell the people in your life they're important to you. Be a good person best you can. And thank you guys for being here. I just had to say that because it was on my mind and I was going to swear and I was thinking, I almost said, sorry, Will. And I don't even want to, I told him today, don't worry about anything other than you and your family. The brigade will be fine. The show will be fine. We'll be fine. So just put Will in your thoughts and his family in your thoughts. There's a story. There's a link to it. It's all over the news in Hartford.
Yeah. If you Google officer killed in a car wreck last night, it pops up. It's everywhere. It's a pretty big story. It's really a horrific story. Yep. And, Will wrote, we have a communication for different things. He wrote this morning that I'm not going to be able to produce the show for a while. And I was just like, man, don't even worry. Right. We'll be here when you get back, whenever that is. Don't even, I have a younger brother who lives in that area in Western Massachusetts. And I can't imagine getting that text call, however he found out. It's your brother goes to work and then your brother doesn't come home. So words don't really, I can't really say anything that's going to make anything better, but I hope you know that we're all thinking about you and we're all here for you if you need it. So you got a family, people who really are going to be, we're at a distance, but we're all thinking about you today. So kind of not to start the show off on a rough note, but that's kind of, we had a long talk about that this morning.
Yeah.
About the blink of an eye. And you have daughters who are driving and teenagers who are driving, and this 19-year-old kid, I don't know the circumstances around how he blew 2 red lights, but he blew 2 red lights and then a police officer passed away. So his actions caused the death of a police officer. There's going to be some serious ramifications from that, long time in jail for what happened. So another family got destroyed, one family, and then another family also lost their kid for his freedom for a long time. So the whole thing just sucks. So, we feel for you, buddy, but take your time. This is the last thing you got to worry about is what goes on with BVB.
Right.
We'll be here when you get back. It's a hard transition, but it's what we do.
Yep.
Let's get to tonight. The Chiefs are now 4.5 against Detroit after opening up at 7. It's come all the way down due to mostly the Travis Kelce news. Have you seen anyone on the Chiefs? Because it is a one-way train that I've seen so far all on the Detroit Lions, and I'm not betting the side for that reason. If I did bet it, I'd bet the Chiefs because it is groupthink time with the Lions tonight.
Without a doubt. I've said this for years in the book. I mean, the favorites cover and win sometimes. The dogs outright win too. But when the majority is on the dogs, friend of the show, the Bear, Chris Felica, used to say the dog has fleas. It does. Stinky dog. I used to say it all the time in the book. It's scary to be on that side. I don't have a side. I really don't. The kids are texting me for the Sports Grid later tonight. What are you looking at? I don't know what I'm looking at for this game. I really don't.
I know what I'm looking at.
You know what you're looking at?
Uh-huh.
The total.
Offense. Yeah.
Over.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Chiefs' defense without Chris Jones is dramatically different. They give up like 40%.
We know he's not playing.
He's not playing.
He's not playing.
They give up like 40% more yards when he's not on the field than when he is on the field.
Ooh.
And so the Lions are going to move the ball. Now, that means that the Chiefs could be behind. And Patrick Mahomes at home playing from behind is a pretty good thing. And that means they're going to put points up on the board. With or without Kelsey, they're going to put points up on the board. This is all off season. This is Andy Reid. This is Patrick Mahomes. I get it. Who are the receivers? Can Sky Moore step up? They'll figure it out. They'll have enough weapons to move the ball on the Lions defense. I don't really believe in the Lions defense. They're a team that's going to play ball control, try to run the ball. I think they'll have success running the ball. But I think the Chiefs offense will score. I think the Chiefs score 30 points tonight. My question would be the Lions. How many points do the Lions score? And the Lions, I think, will score. I mean, the opening number was 7, right? 31-24 feels very likely to me.
Yeah, opening number. I got my packet here, my Westgate packet. This is the whole season. 7-54 was the opener for the first number.
Right.
Chiefs 7, total 54. We're at 4.5 and 53.5. They're playing games with the total right now. Down, up, 53.5, 54, 53.5 this morning here in Vegas. FanDuel took a lead and went 52.5, trying to find the bottom. I expect the question is Kelsey. Is he playing or not? If he plays,
no.
I don't think he is either. But again, we're not doctors, despite the fact that sometimes you like to play one on this show.
I'm not going to play a doctor. I'm going to play a tweeter.
Who's this? Ed Werder.
Yes.
From what I've been told, the outlook for Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce isn't great for him playing tonight against the Lions, but expectations are that he will push the play. Well, obviously, I would hope so. That will leave Andy Reid to decide, knowing Kelce is badly needed, but recognizing long season ahead.
That means no.
That means no?
That means
that's
no.
how you read that?
Yes. That means he's not playing. If it's up to Andy Reid, Andy Reid's going to say, this is one game. What do I care? Sit down. There's no point. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
You might be fine, but what's the benefit? Really, what's the benefit? You have 17 games now. It's a long season. Missing the opening night.
You got all this time to get better because you get an extra 3 days to not play.
You have the mini
game against Jacksonville in week 2 means a little bit more.
Yeah, I would agree.
I would say than this. Now the look ahead number for that is KC -3, -2.5. Wow. It's probably going to stay there. I don't know if we can make Jacksonville the favorite in that game, but I like to look ahead to that because what they'll do is if they know Kelsey's not playing and he may not play that game, they'll bet Jacksonville.
Yeah.
This week before they play tonight, they'll bet it. So that's the purpose of the books, putting out those look ahead numbers. They kind of give it a roadmap to what they're thinking for a lot lower limits.
Everyone's saying they're going to shoot him up. Yeah. Why are you going to shoot him up in week 1? What's the point of that? You could. He could say, yeah, I could have played tonight. Sure. But what's the point?
Well, the wins count the same at the beginning of the season and they do at the end, right?
They do, but you have to recognize the division you play in. Divisional games are going to mean more. Win your division. Don't need the 1 seed. Don't need the 2 seed, to be quite honest. You need a home playoff game.
Well, I don't know. After listening to Gold last night or yesterday on the show, I mean, that 1 seed is huge. The bye is huge. They don't necessarily need it, but there's not a team that wouldn't take it.
Of course not. But you can't play for that in week 1. You can't. You have no idea what the year is going to look like. You might need 13 wins. You might need 12 wins. Who knows how many wins you need to get the 1 seed in the AFC? Could it be a cannibalization type of year where everyone's beating everybody up? I don't know. You just play for yourself, and that's your own team. I don't think playing Travis Kelce. Look, I want him to play. I mean, Kelce plays. It's great for the over. I mean, I bet the over.
It's great for the over, and it's great for the game.
Yeah, I mean, if Kelce plays, I put Kelce in there. I'm not saying not play the guy. I have a bet on the over, so I would love to see it. But I don't think he plays. I don't think he's going to wind up playing.
Well, is the story tonight as much about the Chiefs as it is about the Lions?
It's all about the Lions. It's not about the Chiefs. This is all about this is all about show me offseason hype. I mean, someone said it in the chat. The Lions are a top 10 offense in the NFL. It's still Jared Goff. You're going to need to show me something tonight to say that they're a top 10. And the Chiefs defense is not good, by the way. They can't stop the run. And with Chris Jones being out, they're not going to stop the Lions at all. So the Lions should score 30 points tonight on this Chiefs defense. Will they? I don't know. I got to see it.
Expectations haven't been as high for the Detroit Lions since,
93. Last time they won double-digit games, I think it was 93.
I'm sure our next
or was it 04? Sorry, it was 2013. Not even 2013. They won 10 games. I'm blanking on I thought it was 2013. So I think
those years blur together.
Yeah, well, they sucked for so long. I mean,
they did. They were just a blur.
They've been awful for a very, very long time, and they have a ton of. I mean, Dan Campbell. Everyone's in love with the guy. Okay, huge personality, great walking soundbite. Can they do it with the bright lights on them? Because there is so much hype around them. So often, teams like this do not live up to the hype.
Right.
I mean, so often we see not a horrible year, but like if they win 9 games, I think Lions fans are going to be deeply disappointed. And 9-8 should be a good year for the Lions, but not where the expectation is right now that this team with they have a newly revamped running back core. They've got weapons. They've got a quarterback who they like. They played really well down the stretch, scored a ton of points. Defense played well.
Making a case, but you don't sound convincing.
I don't believe it at all.
I was gonna say if I'm on a jury, I'm like, man, this guy's talking, but
I don't believe this team. No. I don't believe in the Lions. I gotta see it. It's a show me situation, and Detroit Lions fans are going to run around and look. I'm not going to draw a direct parallel here, but it's a little bit similar. It's the same thing with Colorado this coming weekend with Nebraska. Like I need to see some of these when all the public and all the hype and all the expectation and everyone's running around and everyone's in groupthink and they're all going one way. Like if Colorado was going to beat the living daylights out of Nebraska, why is the line 3? If Detroit's going to walk in here and run up and down the field on this Chief defense and they're going to get a huge win, why is the line going up? It was 4, now it's 4.5.
Because there's people that will bet it.
That's my point. But my point is
the line doesn't reflect what's going to happen. It's what people.
No, the line reflects opinions of people who are quote unquote sharp, right? Who are professionals, who are people who have looked at the line numbers, who make where's the numbers going. Okay. So there's people out there, maybe quietly, not loudly, but there's people who are quietly they're on the other side.
There always is. That's the beauty of this game. There's always somebody on the other side. Whether it's the book,
but
the book.
How
about this one? Lions lead at halftime. Chiefs win the game. JC from KC just popped that in the chat. Plus 550.
What's the first half total? First half total is 26.5, right? High scoring, low scoring.
He just said Lions lead at halftime.
Well, if the Lions lead at halftime, I mean, the number is what, 2, 2.5, plus 2, plus 1.5 for
yeah,
Detroit?
See,
somewhere in there.
Should be 2.5, but let's see.
I don't know. I might flip that.
3.
I don't know.
3.
The first half number is 3, and the game's
KC
4.5.
KC -3. Yeah.
You bookmakers, man. You guys are so annoying.
What do you mean?
Why is it number 3?
Why isn't it?
Because half of 4.5 would be 2 or 2.5.
Oh, but it's the first half.
I know. So why is it 3?
So because you usually set a number and you don't change it. First half numbers don't move all over the place. You leave that first half number and kind of sit, move the juice. 3 is a perfect first half number. Stops you right in your tracks. You don't know what to do with that. You don't know whether to take it or lay it.
Stupid.
You don't. What are you going to do with that?
It's a stupid number. It's annoying as hell. Should be 2.5. Should be under. Because if you want money on the dog, it should be 3. I guess
3.
that tells me they want number on the dog. They want people to take the Lions plus 3.
Well, I mean, a lot of it's set on the original number too. Don't forget they didn't.
But why? If it's set on the original number, why isn't the halftime number moving? It doesn't make any sense to me.
There's too much. There's a shorter window. The volatility in the first half. You don't move the number nearly as much as you do the game. So 3's perfect. Look, I mean, you have a lot to say all the time. You're stopped right there. You don't know what to do. You don't want to lay it. You don't want to take it. This is the game.
Stupid. Just a stupid thing. Should be 2.5. Half of it's just like basketball numbers, NBA numbers. They do this. It's like, yeah, the game's 7, but the first half number is 5. Wait, what?
First half is actually the game. The second half silliness. It varies.
First half's the game. Second half silliness. Whatever. It's a bunch of malarkey. My goodness gracious. All right, we'll do more and better to book it. What happened last night, Nick Bosa became the highest paid non-quarterback in the history of the NFL with $122 million guaranteed in a 5-year, $170 million deal. When you get into camp this late, do you have any concerns, Mr. Steeler fan, because your team is playing this 49er defense?
You have to prepare that he was going to play the whole time.
Fair. And Tomlin said as such.
Standard is the standard.
Mm-hmm.
You're not surprising him with Bosa coming in and signing. Surprised by the number, but if you're Bosa and your boy's been banging heads and sweating and playing preseason games, I hope you come with like a bag for everybody. Hey, guys, I'm here. Let's go. Welcome. Because everybody's going to be like, Joey, you show up now. You got
Nicky.
You're the highest.
Joey's
Joey's brother.
Yeah,
we call him Joey. Just to jag him. Hey, Joe. He comes in like that. There's got to be like somebody going, man, what a deal. Like 5 or 6 guys at the top with him are going, okay. And the other 45 are going, man, this guy didn't do nothing.
Did you see the video that the Ravens put out when Zay Jones said his salary, his signing bonus from the Ravens?
No.
So all the players, you make guys stand up and say, what your year, where you were drafted, and your signing bonus. They gave Zay Flowers, I think it was $7 million when he signed, and the entire Odell Beckham Jr. fell over a chair. He just flipped and fell over. Was like, what? Because it was more than any of them had signed. First round pick wide receiver. That's a lot of money. You don't normally get that, but he got, so it's just, yes, I think there's definitely going to be some razzing going on when he comes back. He's like, 122 guarantee, huh? All right, sure. Come on back. What do I get now? Jet skis, Cabo trip. What are we doing here, Nick?
I don't know.
Come on now.
If I come in like that, I'm making sure I got everybody a Rolex or something. Here you go, guys.
Well, that's the offensive line thing, right? When the quarterback gets signed, the offensive line gets bought all the prizes, all the nice gifts. Something. What does a defensive lineman get for who? His fellow defensive lineman in the room?
I don't know. But between him and TJ Watt now both playing, who gets more sacks?
Oh, good question.
On Sunday, that'll be fun to watch. If we can find the game on the TV,
it'll be all right.
Please, it'll be on.
Local here.
Yeah, under in the Steeler game. Under the.
Oh, yes. But it's still a low total.
41
it's a
and a half.
low total. Bernie Fratto should be joining us here in a little bit.
Excellent.
We'll get back to football when Bernie comes on. We'll get to the game, his thoughts on the Lions. Lions outlook. Then in about 15 or 20 minutes from now as well, we'll get to the Eagles and our team of the day. But let's get to some baseball stuff before we get to both of those football conversations. The Houston Astros hit 16 home runs in 3 games off of Rangers pitchers. That was a record for them.
Yes.
They sweep. They sweep the Texas Rangers.
Sweep like with a big street sweeper, not just like a little broom. Like
that I was. I could swear I would, because they kicked the living what out of the Rangers for 3 games.
Oh my goodness!
Not competitive
at all. And Scherzer went yesterday.
Got lit up.
First inning, Alvarez, Oppo, Taco, whatever that was, he crushed the ball to left center field on a line, and it was like, uh-oh. And then it opened up, and they left him out there. Not that he didn't have the stuff, but you knew, like, when the stuff was flat, there was balls being hit hard a lot. K-prop was set at 5.5. I think it went under. If you're Texas, big business, like if you're holding the Texas to make the playoffs,
they're dead.
Oh, you're putting them away just like you did the Red Sox last week? This is it for the Rangers?
Rangers are off today. They play 3 against the A's. Toronto plays the Royals. They're out of the playoffs as we start play today. They're out of the playoffs. I'm not sure.
For the first time since April. Like April 8th. Wetzel said it yesterday. For the first time, they're not leading the division or in the playoffs.
Yeah.
On September 7th.
Not good.
Is it a must sweep? You asked the question. I mean, it's a 2 of 3 minimum, but Toronto plays the Royals. Toronto lost yesterday to the A's. By the way, announced attendance at the game, 3871.
Yeah, but you know the difference between announced attendance.
All I know is that the number on the box score.
That's fine. But their announced attendance includes ticket sales.
More than 2,500.
That's ticket sales.
I
said 15. I didn't say 25. I said 1,500 human beings in the building.
The attendance figure was 3871.
I know, but
you still won't say when you're wrong ever.
What are you talking about? That's not, you're not using the right information.
Oh my.
You're not, Dave. You're clearly showing that you don't know the difference between attendance and paid attendance. There's 2 very different things.
The announced attendance,
yes,
in the box
that's
score,
ticket
the number
sales.
We have to prove. I didn't go to the game and count the people.
I'm saying that's the point there, but 3,800 is including ticket sales, season ticket sales, people who have bought tickets to go to the game. That's the number they can release. Go look and see actual attendance. Who came through the turnstile is what I'm talking about. And I don't know. I didn't see it, but it's, to me, that there was less than that number of people without even knowing what the ballpark looked like. I guarantee you there are less than 3,000 people in the ballpark. Guaranteed.
The boys in the chat want pictures of the crowd. If
Go
you guys can find pictures of the crowd at the game yesterday, Toronto. You saw the highlights. There was a lot of empty seats disguised as people. I mean, seriously, there was a lot of open. You could have gone to that. You might have been able to sit on the field, for goodness sake.
They probably let you. Yeah, come on in. Do you want to sit on the top of the dugout? No one's going to care. So you're not going to block any view for anybody because no one's sitting behind you on that. So
if somebody can get to that, find that.
Go right ahead. Lance Lynn got absolutely lit up by the Marlins last night. 3 straight
way out of the postseason rotation.
3 straight bad outings now for Lance Lynn. If you're the Dodgers, what do you do here? Because he was supposed to be your number 3. Urias made him his number 2 because Urias is gone. So you have Kershaw and you have Lynn. That's your 1-2 against the Braves.
Well, Walker Buehler.
If he comes back and if he's effective when he comes back.
Yeah. And then you got Bobby Miller.
Oh, yay. Let's run him out there in a game 2 setting of an NLCS. That sounds like an awesome idea. They're in trouble. If I'm holding a Dodgers ticket right now, I'm like, man, okay, they're going to win the division. Guaranteed. They'll probably win the first series. But after that, I don't know.
You're going to have to do it a different way.
offensively.
You know, they're going to have to outscore everybody. We're going to have to win these games 8-7. You're going to have to piece together. The bullpen is a bigger mess. It has been a whole season. They have no bridge from 6-5 to 8, or even 9 has been hit and miss. And now this, oh boy, Dodger fans, you got to be worried. Got to be worried.
Marlins have won 6 straight. Cubbies all excited.
Boy,
Mr. C's jumping up and down. He's saying the boys, the fish are coming. 6 straight for the Marlins. Can they sweep the Dodgers today?
Why not?
Sweep the Dodgers.
Why not? This is very possible. Let me see what the line is. I have my stuff all on football. Dodgers.
8.5. I want the over.
Dodgers are still favored.
Yep.
-119, -120, -122. Just moved to -115 down south. I mean, you bet this Marlins.
Over.
And the game over again.
Yes.
All right.
Bet the game over.
Yeah.
One of the two. Either the Dodgers score a lot of runs or the Marlins score a lot of runs. But
game's at 3:40 Pacific. The football game's at 5:20.
Yep.
Will anybody be watching any baseball today?
No.
Not at all.
No.
Seattle plays Tampa at 3:40.
More people will be watching the banner ceremony for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Than they will be watching baseball.
Man, oh man.
Just the way that it is. Jason Dominguez and Mickey Mantle. Those two names are now in Yankee lore together as the only Yankees to hit 3 home runs in 5 games under the age of 20.
He might as well be Mickey Mantle right now.
I mean, he's 19 years old. He's got 3 home runs in 5 games. We haven't seen this since Mickey Mantle. This is
pretty excited.
This is exactly what Aaron Boone was praying for. He needed a miracle, and he got one. And his name is Jason Dominguez because the Yankees have won 5 straight. And I actually saw Yankee fans going like, "It's only 6.5."
Oh, it's already started, Perrault.
It's only 6.5.
Oh, yeah.
What
yeah.
the actual beep double hockey stick are you talking about? Are you crazy? Like, this is like,
pull up the Yankees schedule. Pull it up. Pull it up. They're doing it. Pull it up. You see what's happening, right? Do you see what's happening?
Can I bet this with anybody right now? Who wants these? Who wants this? The Yankees are not making the playoffs.
Whoa.
Yankees are not making the playoffs. Can we stop, please? Everyone stop.
Perrault, do you want the schedule?
Don't need the schedule. They're not making the playoffs.
I got it right here.
Go ahead. They're not making the playoffs.
Tigers today.
Okay.
Gigantic. 157. Rodon against Erod.
Okay.
Oh. Then they have 3 at home against the Brewers.
Good luck. Brewers need it as much as the Yankees do.
Then 4 in Boston at the Red Sox.
And what's Boston's record against the Yankees this year?
They've played 9 times because they play a total of 13. I believe it's 8-1.
That's what it is. Yes.
I believe so.
Yes.
Then after they go to Boston, they go down to Pittsburgh
for
3 games. Friday, Saturday, Sunday affair. Been asked if we're coming. I don't think it's going to be a good weekend for us to come watch the Pirates play the Yankees. I believe good seats will be available there.
Yes.
Just saying. Then they have the Blue Jays, 3. Then the Diamondbacks, 3.
Who need it?
Then the Blue Jays again for 3.
Who need it?
And finish at Kansas City.
I'm going to say this. The Red Sox have a better chance of making the playoffs than the Yankees do.
Just telling you, they have 6 games against the Blue Jays.
Okay. But that
They
just
go 5-1
all
in
that
those.
will do.
From whom?
Yeah, all that's going to do is put the Rangers in the playoffs.
Oh.
Like, okay, go ahead. You beat up on the Blue Jays, the Yankees. Go right ahead. All you're going to do is put the Rangers in the playoffs. That's the best thing that could happen for the Rangers. Have the Yankees take out Toronto. Then Texas is making the playoffs.
The Rangers are 4-15 in their last 19 games.
Yeah, they're horrible. But teams that bottom out,
So the last team that gets in the wild card for the American League is going to back in?
Probably. I mean,
can you imagine if this Yankee team actually gets to within like 2 games with 10 to go?
Oh, it's possible. I mean, it's wild.
Boy.
They have the same number of runs given up and runs scored. this year. This is the prayer answered by Aaron Boone to keep the Yankee fans off his back. He's coming back next year. Aaron Boone's keeping his job.
Wetzel's so happy about it. He's a Red Sox guy, and he's like, "This is great.
It's great."
He said it right.
It
like
is. He's
Red Sox
absolutely. Wetzel's right.
It
He's
keeps
completely
everything
right.
the same.
Just stop. Keep it as is. Oh, you can't bust it up. You got a young kid. You got Dominguez. You can't shake anything up. You got to bring back Cashman. You got to bring back everybody. This is phenomenal. Good. This is great. Keep them exactly the same.
Oh boy.
Keep the Yankees right where they are, which is 500. Perfect. Leave them right there for another season of failed baseball. The mediocrity is phenomenal. Accept it. Pour a little Chianti. Get a little plate together to go and enjoy that meal, Yankee fans, because you're going to keep it. It's great. It's exactly what every Red Sox fan was hoping for, going like, we know our team sucks. Like we're well aware of this, but our guy, Alex Cora, it's Chaim Bloom probably is going to get kicked out, and that's probably fine with every Red Sox fan. But Alex Cora is our guy. We're locked in with Alex Cora. Yikes for the Yankees with Aaron Boone.
Everything comes out of New York. It's unbelievable. All these different things and different whatever. But they just, when they get a little bit of life like this, it just is so overwhelming. And it's like, it's so funny. CBW said the Yankees are due against the Red Sox. LOL.
He's right. That's not wrong. He's right. More often than not, in September, when the Red Sox have an 8-1 record against the Yankees, they lose all 4 games. He's not wrong.
Oh no.
Red Sox and Yankees, generally speaking, wind up a game or 2 apart in their season record. They're like, they play 14 times. It's 7-7 or 8-6. You know, it's just how it goes. So Boston jumping out to a big 8-1 advantage. Yes, it's not like he's making a joke, but he's not wrong. It actually would be. It wouldn't stun me at all if the Yankees won 3 out of 4 or swept the Red Sox in those 4 games.
Oh God.
Not even, but it doesn't matter to me because you have to leapfrog a team that you are 6 games behind in the loss column. That's a lot to make up. It's September the 7th. It's in 3 weeks. I mean, you don't make up 6 games like that in 3 weeks. Like,
I hope the Pirates take 2 of 3 that weekend.
Be beautiful
from them. That would be great.
Yes.
I'll remind everybody about that one. That would be good.
That's what you want. So I'm not sure what's going on with Bernie, because we're supposed to talk to Newbie here in about 3 minutes. So Bernie may have had something come up and he wasn't able to join us or what. Okay. But so Bernie Fraudo might be either on the back end of the show or might not be able to join the show. Okay. But Dan Alexander from Cash Considerations and write an article on what's happening for the Eagles this season. We'll get to him hopefully here in a couple of minutes once he signs in and comes on. And
Yankees are 30-1 to make the playoffs at DraftKings. Thank you, CBW.
30-1
to make the playoffs.
Come on, guys.
It's not even worth a wow.
No,
the Yankee fan, it's worth a bet, but it's not worth a bet.
No, it's not worth a bet at all. Because you have the Blue Jays who have been scuffling, the Red Sox and the Rangers who are both falling apart. Yankees are 6.5 games behind, but they're 6 games back in the loss column to both the Rangers and the Blue Jays. Sure, they're going to play head-to-head against the Blue Jays, but that means they got to win all those games.
They got to go 5-1.
Yeah, right. Good luck in there.
4-2, there's only a 2-game swing. That's not enough.
Right. And I know the Rangers have been playing really poorly, and they're not going to do anything in terms of winning anything, but they play 3 against the A's, 4 against Toronto, 3 against Cleveland, the Red Sox and Seattle at home, and they end the year at the Angels and at Seattle.
Wow. So they have the games against Seattle. That's good.
Yeah, so they can take out Seattle.
It's going to be Toronto has games against everybody.
Yes.
Look at their schedule. That Toronto, if you don't make the playoffs, Blue Jays and Blue Jays fans, you have no one to blame but yourself. You have got this far, and you literally control your own destiny the rest of it.
3 against the Royals, 4 at home against the Rangers, 3 at home against the Red Sox, at the Yankees for 3, at Tampa for 3, home for the Yankees for 3, and home for Tampa for 3.
Oh, that's complete control of their own destiny. They got all the right games and all the right teams, and the one team that ain't in their division are playing Texas.
Yep, and KC.
Right? So Wow. That's
right. So the Blue Jays don't make it. That's entirely on the Blue Jays. That's
on them.
That's on them for not making the postseason.
That's it.
Yeah, look, I think there's something to be said right now just about the third wild card. And like, I don't like it, but I get why baseball did it, because we're talking about baseball on the night that the NFL is coming back, and it's intriguing. So
Right.
I don't like it. I don't like that they've watered down the playoffs even more, but
this is enough. We don't need no more. Like, this is enough. This is good. I love it. I don't want no more. We can't have no more teams in it. Just stop. Please. I would prefer they play a 5-game series and a 5-game series and then a 7-game series. 3-game series makes for 3 very intense baseball games.
I like that, though. Better than the 1-game series.
Oh, worlds better than the 1-game playoff. Worlds. You couldn't even call it making a playoffs.
Right.
Now at least you get 3 games of intense pitches, baseball, all of that stuff. But no, this no more. We can't have more.
No, it does bring back. I mean, when I was a kid, when we were growing up, basically you had to win the league to get in the playoffs, essentially, because it wasn't easy. But there was something to be said for being the 1 seed. There was a big advantage about being the 1 seed, having home field. At least now they've brought back that the 1 seed actually is a really big reward.
Yes.
For who has the best record in the regular season. So it puts a lot of emphasis on your regular season record, which I like. So
right.
I will say, I don't always want to give baseball credit for what they do with, because I hate the ghost runner, but I do like this. This is a good change. What they've changed into, it's pretty cool to do it.
Yes.
You want to talk some Eagles?
Oh yeah, let's
talk some Eagles.
Let's
talk some Eagles with our boy Dan Alexander.
Let's go, boys!
In here, welcome back to the Bostonian versus the book. Fly, Eagles, fly, or as people have been saying all morning long, cry, Eagles, cry. So let's see what happens with this season. First and foremost, what are you doing with this article that you were writing about? I want to know all about this. What are you covering for the Eagles?
Oh yeah. So it's just with Bet Pennsylvania. I got reached out to from a guy you guys probably know well, with Craig Cummings. They do a terrific job with gambling.com, just blowing up. I think they're trying to cover all 32 NFL teams. So when you need someone to bloviate about the Eagles, where do you go? You go to @NewbieTalks on Twitter, because all I do is talk. You throw me an intro and I don't shut up, Matt. So they asked me naturally, hey, why don't you let us know some Eagles playoff odds? So every week we update that. We do some game previews, and then all season long we're going to be updating their Super Bowl odds. It blows my mind to be talking about the Eagles as like almost co-Super Bowl favorites. But as a Birds fan, Matt and Dave, I know expectations have not been kind to the Philadelphia Eagles when they come into the season with high expectations.
Is that a green screen behind you, or is that the first ever Baby Grand backdrop for BBB?
So look at how nice this house is. I wish this was my house. Okay. This is the stock background. When you come on to StreamYard with a green screen on, it throws this thing behind you, and it just made me be like, shit, I really have a long way to go in my life before I can have a Baby Grand behind me. So thanks a lot, StreamYard. The inferiority complex is real now.
That would have been. I was like, man, that's amazing.
Yeah, you want me to hop back there and tickle the ivories for you? I know, little Ray Charles. We can get real crazy, guys.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, wow, he went down to the beach, to the big condo to do the set. I like it. This is great. All right, so we talked about it a little bit last night when we did the show, the cash considerations. But this division hasn't had a repeat winner in a long, long time. And that means that the Eagles aren't even going to win the division. Stop shaking your head, Matt. Stop. Newbie, if it's not the Eagles, and I think it's still going to be the Eagles, who is it going to be in the division, the biggest threat in the NFC East?
Nobody's talking about the Commanders. They're incredible. No, I'm joking. But I will say it does worry me a little bit that the Eagles are such like prohibitive favorites, because like you mentioned, Dave, like it hasn't happened since the Eagles were the team who did it and won back-to-back in the NFC East. And you could say, oh, that's just an anomaly, but the proof is in the pudding. The reason why it doesn't happen every single year is because these teams beat up on each other. And, the biggest thing, think about when the Eagles were undefeated last year. Who did they lose to? A Commanders team who had nothing to play for on a Monday night football game. That's the NFC East in a microcosm. When you think somebody's not going to do it is when they do it. So heading into the season, Dave, I'm not laying any chalk to back the Eagles to win this division. Do they win the division? They likely do, but it's too competitive, and I think there hasn't been enough talk about the strides that some of these other teams have made. It's just been Eagles chalk, Eagles this, Eagles that. Well, since Andy Reid left, there hasn't been back-to-back really strong Eagles performances in really any season. So can Nick Sirianni finally be the guy to do that? I know a lot of people didn't even like Nick Sirianni when he was hired, so we'll see.
03-04, the last time a team went back-to-back in the Super Bowl, and the last time a team went back-to-back in the NFC East.
So you're saying there's a chance. 03-04, 20 years later, 23-24, now it happens, Matt. It's the natural order of things.
Yeah, no. Chiefs aren't winning the Super Bowl. Eagles aren't winning the East. I think that the Cowboys win the East, but
I like that.
Are you concerned at all about the hangover from the Super Bowl loss? Teams that have gone to the big game and lost it the following season have regressed consistently. Not all the time, but historically, it's been a rough season.
I mean, barring injury, it's hard for me to just take that history and say, oh my goodness, it happens to all these teams, so it's going to happen to the Philadelphia Eagles. Because if there's one thing that I think has Birds fans still excited, it's the tenor of Jalen Hurts. Like, this isn't a guy who's a rest on his laurels kind of guy, because if you look at just the trajectory of his career, he's continually been passed over. He's continually had to be the underdog. So even though they made it to the Super Bowl, that's in the rear view. There was a big story about Jalen Hurts having the background of his phone, having him walking off the field when he lost the Super Bowl. So in his mind, nothing has really been accomplished. And it's hard for me to go into a season and say, oh my goodness, they're going to be awful. Now, if Jalen Hurts gets hurt, if the injuries start stacking up for this team, then you might be looking at a potential regression. But as far as just looking at recent history and how other winners have done, I don't think those other winners had a guy with the mental fortitude that Jalen Hurts has under center. So I think that kind of dispels maybe my worries about the historical trends about these Super Bowl losers, at least season long. Week one, I don't know, Matt. I'm sure we'll talk about that, but I might be buying the hype about Super Bowl losers in week one.
I was just going to say that right above my head. The show's called Bostonian versus the Book. The Philadelphia Eagles happen to be playing in New England this weekend. Somehow in the later time slot, I still just totally disagree with two teams backies playing in a later time slot. It's a whole nother issue.
For Tom.
3.5 or
Brady.
4. It's not for Brady.
It is for Brady. That's who it's for. It's for Tom.
Just dictating the times we play the games.
The new
part owner of the
Delta executive now, Tom Brady.
Delta executive.
Do you see that? He is. He's actually like they brought him into the company. It's like a Delta executive now.
The quote was that he's going to come inside the company. I think they could have worded that a little bit better, but that was the direct quote.
I don't know who wrote that, but that was threw me off with that.
He does have two baby mamas, so you
just can't stop. You just really can't.
3.5, noobs. It's 3.5. The Eagles are favored. And the total's around 45. Let's call it 45. How's this game play out on Sunday?
Well, I think I'm not surprised to start seeing the number drop into 3.5 across the board, because it's some of those spots that, take those bag guys that you like to talk about, Dave. They've been sitting at 3.5. So I'm not shocked to see the market starting to follow in tow. But if that 4 is still out there, honestly, even still getting that hook, Dave, I think this is a field goal game. If the Eagles win, I think you're looking at a live dog at home with the New England Patriots, simply because, as Matt and I were just talking, he was pointing out this hangover for teams the year after they lose the Super Bowl. I don't think that's going to play itself out over the season, but in week one, look at what they did last year, and they didn't have a hangover last year. They went into Detroit against a Detroit team that, sure, they're the talk of the town now. They surely weren't at the start of the season last year. Everyone was clowning the Eagles for barely beating them. Ended up some late-game heroics that they needed to beat the Lions by a field goal. Now you're giving points to Bill Belichick after he's had to listen to people for 2 years say that he's washed as a head coach. He's this, he's that. That defense for the Patriots also was a solid unit last year. They add Christian Gonzalez. I think they've gotten even better defensively. And you're looking at an Eagles team who didn't really play much in the preseason. Same thing as last year. I think there may be some growing pains or a little bit of rust to shake off. I think probably they end up still getting their points. But if the Patriots can get their points, like it's the math equation. If the Patriots get to around, might be a taller, but I think even 17 points for the Patriots. That keeps this at a 3-point game. I would have it around 2017 if the Eagles win. If the Patriots get the ball last, they have some late game heroics. Who knows? But I'm certainly not laying 4 to start off the season, Dave. And I'm not laying 3.5 either.
I didn't see this coming.
And Dave, you should know this.
I want a Randall and everything. I want a Randall for you.
Dave. You should know this. You should know this.
I waved the flag. I did all of it. I tried, Dave.
But you should know this. Bill Belichick and his longtime girlfriend just broke up.
Ooh, revenge
This is
game.
big news.
This is revenge
longtime
game.
girlfriend just broke up. So the Daily Mail reported this morning that they have broken up. So every Patriot fan is like, I get a pissed off, focused Belichick all year. Let's go.
That's not good for us. And now he's gonna like you guys. Everyone who's a football fan has seen The Water Boy. So basically, he's gonna have his players picturing. He's always like visualize. It's just gonna be his ex-girlfriend when Bill Belichick looks across the sideline. That's what he's gonna see on Nick Sirianni's head, and he's gonna be like, "Why did you do me like that?" So yeah, a great motivator, a good underdog coach at home in week 1, growing pains. Man,
it's my favorite. It's my favorite. It's my favorite team.
You're frozen. Snap your fingers. Me and Newbie are good. Look,
is our show now? It's
because
he was about to talk about Teaser's Paradise, Dave. He was about to tell us to tease him up.
It's my favorite teaser leg of the week. Is Patriots +10.
Well, whatever you do, don't tell that to Twitter, though, because then they'll say, you're doing a non-Wong teaser, Matt Perrault. What is wrong with you?
I love Wong teasers, but I'm still going to, if you give me 2.5, it'll qualify for a Wong teaser, and let's go. Let's go.
I'm right there. I'm right there with you, Matt. And I say it as kind of, a tongue-in-cheek point that all these people are so obsessed with being sharp bettors all the time that they leave so many winning tickets out there. Like, we think this team is live at 4, so you're telling me it's a bad bet to pair it with a traditional teaser leg like a Steelers, take them up. Maybe even a Browns as a home dog, you take them up. If you like the Jets, you take them up. So you do have a traditional leg in those senses. And you're telling me there's not value on Belichick +10? These people get way too caught up on this Stanford Wong stuff. If it's a winning ticket, it's a winning ticket.
I bet Wong teasers all the time, but Wong teasers. Of course. But the problem is that if you're going to do a Wong teaser, the Twitter world doesn't work. The content space doesn't work because if you're going to do it, a Wong teaser is an hour before kickoff. So you have to go ahead and watch the line move. And the line always moves, as you guys and Dave knows, everyone knows. The line can move a lot based upon what the bad guys come in and bet late as to what they can get down from a money perspective. So I love when I hear content people talk about Wong teasers. Unless you're doing a live show like right before kickoff, it doesn't really make any sense to do Wong teasers or give it out, because you're not inside the window that the Wong teaser methodology came from. So I'm with you.
It's a dong teaser. If you're giving out a Wong before post, it's a dong.
That's a good nickname. I like that.
Yeah,
that works.
Sometimes Wong is Wong too. Like, you have to know that.
Sometimes
Wong is Wong.
Yeah.
Just saying. Perrault's
and think about also, guys, because of how popular the Stanford Wong teaser has been, think about how just horrible they were to start the year. It wasn't about till 3/4 of the way through the year until those Wong teasers started being profitable again, because for whatever reason, just last year, maybe it was an anomaly. Maybe we'll see that, regress back to the mean. But last year, advantage Stanford Wong teasers were horrible to start the NFL year.
Blowouts all over we didn't have 1-score games or even 2-score games. We had blowouts. Consistently. The teams were covering big numbers, and you weren't able to use the Wong teaser because they'd win by 14 points and you'd be dead. Anything like that, it happens on either side. It crushes you. So,
The guys in the chat just came in and said, Wong is Wong, Dong and Newbie are right.
I like
two
that.
Two Wongs, Wong Wang is still our favorite name of anybody in the contest.
We got a guy in the contest. 2 Wongs. Yeah, what is it? 2 Wongs, 1 Wang?
2 Wongs, 1 Wang.
Genius. That's their names, Noob.
That's their names.
That's pretty brilliant.
Of the 3 guys who have a team together.
That's a great law firm name as well. Wong, Wong, and Wang. We'll beat any case that you have.
That's great. Jalen Hurts for MVP. Can you buy it?
I don't hate it. I think there's some other names up there that I like a little bit better. Here's the problem is he did everything he needed to do last year to win the MVP, except not get hurt. If he doesn't get injured in that Bears game, you probably do see him as the MVP. You know, they had to give it to Pat Mahomes after that happened. Once you miss games, you're already fighting an uphill battle. And I think that's what got Jalen Hurts. I think he 1,000% could have an MVP season. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like because the secret's kind of out, he would need to have some insane video game type numbers to get that MVP nod. So, you know, I think, you know, unproven commodities. I know there's a hot ticket that people like talking about, like Justin Fields. I don't think they're going to win enough games to get him. I think he's going to be a great fantasy player for DFS players, for you know, people betting props. I think the value is going to dry up pretty quickly on him. But as far as MVP, yes, I could buy in on Hurts. Do I think I'm going to hold the ticket? No, partially because anytime I bet anyone to win the MVP from Philadelphia, they don't lose it. The one time I had a winning ticket, Matt, it was when the Phillies sucked. I had Bryce Harper to win the MVP before the season. Phillies sucked, so I was like, there's no way he's going to win. I cashed it out for pennies on the dollar in the middle of the season. He goes on and wins the MVP. I swore to myself, Matt, I would never bet an MVP bet again, and I've stayed true to it.
Did you bet Embiid last year?
No, of course I didn't, because I bet him every other year and he didn't win it. So when I was like, fuck this, I'm done wasting all my money on betting Embiid bets and losing them, that's the year that he won. So it's the curse that I have. It's my cross to bear, man.
Can you reach out to him real quick and ask him how he feels about that, Noobs?
Let me see.
See if you can get Joel.
I'm seeing it on Slack. Let me. He is.
Can you get him?
Yo, guys, you brought me back on Bostonian versus the book. The only reason I won MVP is because I knew that schmuck newbie didn't bet me. What a clown, baby. But you want to talk about clowns? It's the entire Sixers organization. Get me the hell out of here, Dave. I'm sick of this shit. Thanks, Joel. Go home.
Thanks for joining in, Joel.
For being here.
It was nice of him.
Wow. Speaking of the Sixers,
how
big of a dumpster fire are you guys?
God.
I mean, what is going on with the Sixers?
We weren't supposed to bring this up. This wasn't in the notes, Noob. I'm sorry.
It's just too fun because I mean, you guys could have drafted Jason Tatum and you didn't, and you wind up getting yourself a player that you couldn't stand. Ben Simmons is playing in Brooklyn. He's gone. Harden goes over to China and rips the hell out of your team, and now Joel Embiid's not sure he wants to be there anymore.
It's football season.
It is and it isn't. It's just something to point out. Like, what is going on with the Sixers?
Well, out of respect to my therapist who told me not to talk about the Sixers anymore, I don't have much to say on this end, but I will say, I mean, I've been out on the Sixers since last season. On cash considerations, Dave made me play the Sixers song, which used to be my favorite song. Now it's fingernails on a chalkboard to me, Matt. Like I can't do it with this team. I can't do it with this organization. And I'm on Harden's side. I'm on anybody who wants to leave this dumpster fire that is an organization keeps giving, it keeps giving the rope to this absolute joke of a GM. I think, the proof is in the pudding, man. Players don't like this guy. Think about how many times he's trying to land big names and the relationships just sour so quickly. Bring Sam Hinkie back. I want another process. I'm sick of this, Matt.
All right. Got to get you out of here. So I'll ask, this will be my last one. You're wearing that lacrosse hat, aren't you?
Say the name.
Look at the back. The back has like the where is it? The purple PLL logo. It's a tough hat, man.
Yeah. But how do you say that? Hold on. How do you say that? What's on your head?
The water dogs.
The what?
Water dogs. Like he says
water dogs.
Okay.
WATER dogs. All one word.
Dave loves to say that I say over the and I say under the because my Boston accent comes through.
Right.
The Philly accent's very interesting for the word water, and it was when I was in college, it was a very funny thing whenever someone would say the word water, and it would be a Wawa.
Use dickheads know we got to get some water ice down the street. Grab a little
water.
crunchy pie.
I got to go get some water at Wawa, and I would go, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, right.
Yeah. You're literally, did you just have a stroke? Like what? Water at Wawa, what?
But they didn't get the water out of a bubbler. I can tell you that right now.
That's true.
No.
That's ours. That's a New England thing. That is a bubbler is ours. There's two types of bubblers. One you smoke out of, the other you drink out of.
Right. Well, neither one's being talked about right now. Noobs, what's the deal with the lacrosse? You got semifinals, finals. You've been smoking hot with the lacrosse. You got interesting takes. Gambling Twitter hates you because you talk about betting on lacrosse and all this other stuff.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, believe me, the gatekeepers are very upset with.
They're not happy. They're not happy talking about this stuff.
People are betting on mini golf. What are we doing?
You're right.
People are mad about
this
lacrosse. What are we doing?
Kids like the lacrosse. It's actually an entertaining sport.
I love
Noobs,
lacrosse.
is there any bets? Anything coming up this weekend you want to mention?
Yeah, so semifinals are this weekend on Long Island. It's going to be going toe-to-toe against the NFL on Sunday. I don't know what they were thinking about with that schedule making. They were smart going with the quarterfinals were all day long Labor Day. Did great numbers on that. But it's Redwoods, Archers, it's Wooder Dogs, and Cannons. I think we're looking at a reality where it's chalk. Archers, what's up?
Who is Boston playing?
Well, Boston is essentially the Cannons.
I know.
Cannons are Boston. They're playing the Wooder Dogs.
Are from?
So the way that it's set up, none of them actually have like cities assigned to them. They're assigning cities. It's like a travel-based model. So they're in a different place every weekend. So it's just like different clubs. But the original Boston Cannons were in the MLL. None of these teams have cities yet. They're going to get
so cities. So the Wooder Dogs aren't from Philadelphia. Because I'm wondering, is Boston and Philadelphia playing 2 times this weekend?
No.
It won't surprise me if when they assign cities, if the Water Dogs are assigned to Philadelphia, because they have a lot of players that are from the Philly area. So it wouldn't shock me at all. So yeah, it's kind of like a Boston Philly action. And do we just do a Cannons and we parlay it with the Patriots?
Because
the Cannons are winning this game. Like I think the Cannons and the Archers are on a collision course. So I think the best way to bet this, there's actually some nice plus money prices. If you go to FanDuel, you can take Archers to defeat Cannons. It's like plus 550 in the championship game.
Oh, okay.
Get that ticket because if they both win, Cannons are going to be dogs. Lock yourself in on a profit. Archers beat the Redwoods. Cannons make it to the finals. Archers, Cannons plus 550. That's the way to bet it.
All right. Newbie, this was a lot of fun, my friend. We'll do it again soon, all right?
I love coming on with you guys. BVB, Mafia, out. Love you guys.
Take care. That is one Mr. Dan Alexander joining us. Ooh, sorry. I put him back on. Put him on and off. Let me do a little
switch it.
And this. And
I love that boy.
And this. And this. Hold on.
He's tremendous.
Get it all in. Oh, it's great to get him on the
love program. When he gets Joel. I mean, he's got Joel Embiid right on a button. He can just dial him up anytime he needs him. It's great.
Oh boy. Yeah, the Boston and Philadelphia weekend. I'm in for it. I'm here for it. Let's go with that. All right. College football. Let's roll here.
Let's go.
Iowa State football players pled guilty to underage gambling. Unfortunately, it looks like the quarterback Hunter Deckers is going to lose his eligibility. He's not going to be able to play college sports ever again, which sucks.
Man.
Yeah. So
I asked you this morning. This stays on a record. Like this is you got to plead guilty to underage gambling. I put in some same game parlays.
Yeah.
Like they're going to be sitting in a job interview and somebody's going to come up and say, "What did you do? Explain this?" My mom downloaded an app and I put the bets in and then I got busted. And what did you do? Did some $10 parlays and stuff. It's no big deal. Like that's what we're doing with this.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks. I mean, there's no other way around it. I mean, Hunter Deckers is the poster child of it. The Iowa kicker is on this list, the Aaron Blum kid. The underage gambling charge carries a fine of $645. You lose your eligibility to play high-level FBS Division I college football for a $645 fine. Stinks. It just absolutely stinks.
Man, oh man.
So bummer there, but that story kind of comes to an end. What also is really ridiculous, a Penn State linebacker was arrested for smoking pot in his room at Penn State. The fire alarm went off. That's how he got caught.
Damn.
The fire alarm went off on the kid. But I mean, this is so dumb. You can drink in your room and you can get absolutely, blitz loaded, but you get arrested because the fire alarm goes off because you have a tiny amount of cannabis in your room. And it becomes a story on ESPN.com for Abdul Carter, who was a hell of a player last year for this defense. Second team All Big Ten selection, 56 tackles, second team.
Bernie said he didn't get the email, by the way. I just got the text.
Huh? Yeah, it's there. You're CC'd on the email, so you can go look at it. It's in your email. It's in your inbox too. Unless you sent me the wrong email address.
I sent it. Yeah, let's see. I don't know. Go ahead.
You were sent.
Continue.
No, it's just unfortunate. I mean, this is a hell of a player, and now his name gets splashed all across the internet here. He's got a court filing here. It's a complete misdemeanor. It's a small baggie of the drugs. The police got called for it, and now it's all over local television. He'll probably miss a game. Not that big of a deal, but it's such a nonsensical thing because there's kids doing way worse than that in their college dorms every single day. And this kid, unfortunately, for Penn State, winds up getting himself, splashed across the internet for, unfortunately, doing something that's legal in a lot of states, just not legal in Pennsylvania. Texas at Alabama, game of the weekend in college football. Where are you on Jalen Milroe for Alabama? You comfortable riding with the tide here, like unproven quarterback, or where are you here?
I don't know yet. I really don't know yet.
I think most people don't know yet. That's why I bet Texas.
How's the game play out? Under.
Over.
Really?
Yep. In my opinion, I think it's high scoring. I think both. I want to see the defense for Texas. I mean, I think it goes under. I think it's better for Texas. That means Alabama's not scoring.
Huh.
I mean, Milroe was 13 of 18 for 194 yards. He threw for 3 touchdowns. So it wasn't like he had, a ton of yards. He ran for 2 other scores against MTSU. Texas showed nothing against Rice, and they almost got caught because in the first half they were playing so vanilla that they had to actually do some things in the second half to take that game, and then they blew out Rice in the second half. I cannot wait to see yours in company. The key to this entire game, whether or not Texas can run the football.
Right.
If Texas can run the football, Texas can win this game. If they can't run the football, Alabama's going to be live to win the game. They're live anyway, but they win the game if Texas can't run the ball.
Current line right now
7, right? It's not moving. It's cemented.
I'm really more concerned with the total. 54 painted. Not one. Oh, Superbook is 54.5. Team with the ball last wins.
I mean, I think
nobody's blowing anybody out, right? This is not a blowout by any means.
No, I would be absolutely stunned. Alabama could blow Texas out. That could happen. I don't think Texas blows Alabama out. Not in Tuscaloosa. That would be stunning if that actually happened.
Right.
I'd be like, wait, what? But I mean, I like Texas +7. I always sprinkle money line whenever I bet a dog because I have to like the dog to win the game if I want to bet the dog. But I think Alabama wins the game by 3. I think Bama wins, but I think the 7 points is too heavy.
Let's see. We'll have a determination tomorrow.
Okay.
I didn't get the email either from you to Bernie and me. So I don't know what happened, but I don't have an email.
How's that even remotely not possible? You want me to resend it?
I got the newbie one, but I didn't get the other one. So
you want me to resend it?
He doesn't have it. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Oh, there it is. No, I do have it. It's down below.
I send it.
All right, let's do this. Let's Send it again. See if he has it.
Okay.
I don't know. He's sitting around waiting. So if we can get him, we can get him. If we can't, we'll get him at a different time. But I'm excited for college football this weekend. This is like you have this the biggest game, but like this is the biggest game, isn't it?
It's not the biggest game. It is the biggest bet game, though. This seems like the most
be a hell of an intriguing game.
This is the most obvious bet of the weekend, though, in my opinion. Just bet the under.
Oh.
If this gets even remotely close to the total, Colorado's winning this game by 3 touchdowns. We get even close to 60 points. It's an absolute rout.
Doesn't it play out similar to what we saw last week?
With Nebraska and Minnesota, yeah. There is no way.
Unable to score. Nebraska's going to run the ball, are they not?
They cannot. There is no way. I don't know what I will do. I'll figure out something. If Nebraska scores 42 points against Colorado, I will fall over. This offense cannot score 42 points, I don't think, on anybody. They're going to run the ball. The clock, this is going to be a running clock. Nebraska is going to bleed the clock. They're going to run. They're going to limit possessions. They're going to try to dominate.
You froze again. Damn it. Snap your fingers.
The new clock rule comes in big time.
You froze. I didn't hear a word you said.
So the new clock rule comes in big time.
I heard it that time.
Okay. This is what comes in. The new clock rule plays a major role.
Let's try this.
They're not going to have enough time. Colorado's not going to have enough time. How many touchdowns do you think the Buffalo score? 5? 6?
No, the winner's in the 30s. Right? 31. 24 is the highest, probably. Maybe 35. 27. That would put it over the total. It's going to fall right around a number. I think Nebraska's going to have success running the ball, but you're right. They may be one of those things that the clock does always run, and number of possessions limited, turnovers, and it stays under. But I don't know. Is Nebraska's that defense that much better
than TCU's? I don't know, but I think they'll obviously be able to game plan more than TCU was able to. TCU had no clue what was happening. That's why you heard those quotes from the kids saying we're the laughingstock of college football. They weren't prepared. That was on Sonny Dykes. They were not prepared for the offense. They did not know what was coming. Weren't ready for Hunter. They weren't ready for Horn. They weren't ready for Sanders. They weren't ready.
Huge crowd in this chat right now. I'm going to ask again. I'm going to ask again tomorrow when we're talking. Who do you got, Nebraska or Colorado?
Outright or with points?
Outright. Just outright win. Who's winning that game?
Saying Colorado.
You think everybody's saying Colorado?
One-way traffic, Colorado, I bet will happen.
I don't think so. There's the first one. Bonvy says, give me Nebraska.
Wow. Outright?
Yeah. Would it shock you?
No. It wouldn't shock me only because it's groupthink, one-way action, everyone betting one way. So, and all the pros are on Nebraska. So it wouldn't shock me at all.
Yeah.
But I think the question I'm going to have is if Jeff Sims turns the football over the way he did against Minnesota, they're going to get run off the field. And that's why the under, it's far more likely that Nebraska gets run off the field and loses the game by 30 points than Nebraska winning the game. Both situations, Nebraska winning the game or Nebraska getting run off the field by 30 points, the under is coming in both those situations. The only way the over is coming in is if Nebraska can play and hang offensively and score points. They scored 10 points last week against Minnesota, and they don't have a passing attack to speak of. They can't do what TCU did.
Right.
So TCU scored 42 points on that Buffalo defense. Not good for TCU, for the Buffalo defense. But Nebraska is going to run the ball And if they can't run the ball, it is over. 35-3 type game.
We got Colorado, Nebraska, Buffaloes, Colorado, Nebraska, Nebraska, Colorado, Colorado.
See, outright's tough.
Colorado, Nebraska, Nebraska, Colorado. Huskers abandon the run when they get behind.
They do, but they can't because they can't throw. You saw it. What happened when Sims tried to throw the ball when they were down or they were tied 10-10. He can't throw.
Matty Rafferty, good to see you in the chat, sir. As a Nebraska fan, Colorado beats the doors off of Nebraska.
Rafferty and Matty and I have talked. He took my class. He's a former student of mine. I've talked to him for about Nebraska for 4 years now.
Right.
He's right. I mean, Husker fans, if you've watched Nebraska for a long period of time, you have a pretty good idea of what's coming. You're going to get out athlete. You don't have the horses to hang.
Why is the line only 3?
Because everyone is going to say, and people are saying, this is not UMass, this is not Hawaii, this is not San Jose State. But week 1 to week 2 overreactions have been happening a lot in college football from a line perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And this could very well be another overreaction. And the public is betting this game like crazy. The book is going to 100% need Nebraska to win this game outright.
I can't wait to watch it. I don't have an opinion. Again, I don't know. I really have no idea. I had so much fun watching that game. I don't have to bet it to watch it. I know that.
No.
So I was betting it in game, the TCU game. I laid 120 on TCU.
Yeah.
I thought TCU was going to win.
Yeah.
I saw the value. I said, I'm going to take TCU. Then I was like, oh, that's the wrong side. I better try to get out of this. Oh, then it was the right side. Oh, then it was my account was insane. I whoever was on the other end of those was like, what is he doing right now? I didn't know.
The public didn't know. I mean, if there were 4 times in that game where you could have said, oh, it's over. Oh, it's over. Oh, it's over.
No, the lead changes were back. 4 straight lead changes on 4 straight possessions. Opposite team scored. Boom,
That will not be the case this weekend. That will not happen.
Right.
There will not be that. Nebraska's either in this game and it's an absolute punt dog fest brawl 17-10 type of final, or it's an all-out assault and it's over at halftime. And by the way, the Buffaloes will not stop scoring.
What's going to be if Nebraska loses? I mean, you were there. Matt Rule came in with,
Husker fans are apologists when it comes to early coaches that they like.
Oh, okay, all right.
They will. They will be when you lose. Nebraska nice, Iowa nice. These are real things. Okay, they don't like to be really mean, in particular to new guests. And Matt Rule is a new guest. So they don't want to be mean. They don't want to be rude. They're going to be polite. They're going to say, you got to give him time because these are not his players for the most part. These are not kids he recruited. He inherited transfer portal kids, blah, blah, blah. Wait till Matt Rule gets his team and then judge him.
Really?
Yes. Nebraska's not like the rest of the country in terms of you have to win immediately in order to keep the fan base alive. They want to win and they'll be mad about it, but you're not going to see articles in the media getting written like Matt Rule's not the guy after 2 games.
But they better house Northern Illinois and Louisiana Tech after.
And they probably will at home. I mean, remember, this is both games on the road for them. So when they open up at home, if they win the game 40-0, everything is fine. Husker fans are like Iowa fans. Remember, there's one thing they really care about.
Doing right now.
They want the bowl game. They want the trip off the combine. They want the trip to Arizona or Florida. It's built into their entire farming calendar. I'm not even taking it to be funny. It's an absolute truth. Okay. You get them a bowl game. They're okay. They want to win more. You don't get them a trip in some warm part of the country to get the hell out of there wherever they are, part of the state that they're in. They're not happy.
Comparing them to Iowa fans and stuff.
It's the truth.
Trying to rile everybody up.
No, it's the culture. They're all corn farmers. So they are. They're huge, massive combines, and they're in the combine for hours. I can't tell you how many people that I've met over the years who have told me they listened to my afternoon drive show in the combine while they were driving the combine. Because there's not much to do when when there's 200 acres of corn and you're just coming through with the combine. All you do is let it go. You just sit there and you're not going anywhere. You're going in a straight line for like literally an hour, turning around and going in a straight line back. Like it drives itself. So you need some entertainment. So you turn on the show and listen to me, and then you dog cuss me out, while I'm ripping on your team.
Sounds like a hell of a party. I've never been in a combine.
Oh, it's great. They drink. They go ahead and they get a 6-pack in a cooler. They put the cooler down. They drink. I love these people. These people are awesome. I've never done it. I'm a city kid from Boston, but they've told me all about it.
I've heard a lot about it too. My brother Doug is getting into the combine life. Like he lives in Columbus, Ohio, and he likes to just drive out and get out in the middle of nowhere and just sit there and do stuff. I'm like, what is going on? But
my brother has 3 sizes of tractors.
Yeah,
he's a small one, a medium-sized one, and a monster truck one. The monster truck one doesn't even look like it should be on planet Earth. It looks like a moon rover. It's so big.
Daryl Stout, welcome to the chat, sir. I haven't seen your name before, but he said he listens to BVB in my tractor. I listen to BVB in my tractor. I told you. Got to get this guy a hat to wear on the tractor.
It's phenomenal. See?
That is great. We need a picture of you in the, what's the Discord channel again?
BVBshow.com.
We need a picture of Daryl on the tractor wearing a hat. We got to get this guy a hat. I had no idea people were driving around on tractors listening to the show.
100%.
That's outstanding.
Most often Miller Lite, Busch Light, Bud Light, somewhere in that range. 6-pack of that. Coors Light.
This is great.
Sitting there as you go on the combine. Like if you're digging up the dirt, if you're, before you plant, like right now they're in harvesting zone. This is all harvesting stuff. So late summer, you're harvesting all the corn. You're getting it all gone. So
what the hell do you know about farming?
I know about corn farming because I was there for I was there for 7-8 years. I was there in corn country.
This is great.
What do they say? It has to be head high by Labor Day. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Hold on.
What that saying is?
What did you just?
There's a saying. Somebody correct
trouble.
Me.
We're never getting off.
It
has to be head high.
Head high by Labor Day. I think that's what it. Or maybe it's 4th. Is it head high by 4th of July? Is that what it is? Head high by 4th of July. Sorry, that's what it is.
Put that shit on a T-shirt. Sorry.
It's head high by 4th of July. That's what it is. So what is it? So Labor Day is when you cut it all down. Okay, that's what it is. The corn's got to be head high by 4th of July. That's the corn stalk.
Jessica may be right. Maybe we'll live on a farm sometime. She wants to live on a farm. So
oh, you want a corn farm? Yikes.
I don't okay. No, I don't. I want to fly over to farms. Like please. I don't know about no farms.
No, I want to go to you're going to see it. You're just going to see it all when it's dormant when we go.
Oh, we
got to go to Iowa, Creighton. We got to go to that
high
game.
By the 4th of July.
Oh, knee high. So what's it by Labor Day then? Head high by Labor Day? Is that what it is?
Joel Onler, thank you. Jesse,
thank you. That's what he's a Husker fan.
4th of July.
Knee high by 4th of July. Okay, I knew there was some saying like that about the height of the corn by certain. So then by Labor Day, it's high. Is it head high by Labor Day?
I think you're making that part up. I don't know.
No, it needs to be.
What is the measurement stick for Labor Day? People in the chat. Yeah, this is great
for corn. For corn.
Yeah,
it's too good. I love it.
Yeah,
that's because you are harvesting and you're working all in August and you're getting everything ready to go, and then football season happens, and that's the break that they get. So they go to the game and then they come back and they go and work. So when the team loses, they're mad.
Oh,
they're mad at work,
yeah.
And they're frustrated by the whole thing. So.
Jesse Ackerman said there is no Labor Day one.
Oh, all right. Interesting. So just by 4th of July.
Perrault
okay. But when do you, but ask, then fine, say this. When do you harvest though? Don't you harvest in August, September, right? That's when you cut everything down. You flatten them all out.
This is the farming portion of the show. We should definitely do this like every Thursday.
I love it.
We should have a farmer on. They used to call me the farmer at the card game. And I said, why? And they said, because you sit there and act like a farmer. Like sometimes I would make bad plays or something. And the one guy, the hat said, you're a farmer. That was my
Okay.
nickname, the farmer.
Eagles team of the day. It's why we're wearing all of these things. If you are looking for the Circa Million numbers, they are out right now. Circa Million has put them all out. So you guys can go find them. Both the Westgate and Circa both using 4.5 for the Chiefs. The one difference I did see quickly was the Eagles are +4 in the Million contest. They are 3.5 in the Westgate contest, just FYI. So there's some discrepancies between the two there.
See,
Ed
Sam is over at the Westgate. He has like biased Philly lines in there sometimes.
Interesting.
So you'll see some different things.
Well, if he's biased towards Philly, though, wouldn't he be higher than 3.5? He's lower at the Westgate. Circa's +4. Win total for the Eagles 11.5, juice to the under at -125. Last year they went 14-3. Eagles should be excited about Jalen Hurts. Big step last year, MVP candidate this year. Defense could be very good once again for Philadelphia. Reason to be concerned. That hangover from the Super Bowl is a real thing for the loser. It's not been historically pretty. Schedule in November is absolutely brutal, Dave. Brutal. Of all the schedules we have done, November might be the most difficult single month for the Philadelphia Eagles that we've done so far.
Right.
Get a load of this. This schedule is yikes. Here we go. Can we find 12 wins for Philly? I don't think we can. At New England to open.
I think they win.
Loss. Minnesota at home.
2.
Win. 1-1. At Tampa.
3. Win.
Home for Washington.
4. Win.
3-1. At the Rams.
5. Win.
At New York.
Lose.
It's a pretty big win for the Jets if they beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
At home. I'm going to say, I'll say lost 2. Home for Miami.
5. Home for Miami. 6.
5. At Washington.
Newbie said they split that game, so they lose.
Okay, fair. They lost last year. At home for Dallas.
7. Win.
I have 6. Bye weeks in week 10, and then get a load of this schedule.
Okay.
At Kansas City. So look, on November the 5th, they play Dallas at home. Hard game. Tough game.
Yep.
Then your bye week.
Mm-hmm.
Then they play at Kansas City.
They'll lose.
Home for Buffalo.
They'll split those games, Buffalo and San Fran. So I'll give them 1 win there. They'll win 1 and lose 1.
At Dallas.
Lose.
Look at that. Dallas, KC, Buffalo, San Francisco, Dallas.
That's a rough stretch right there in the middle.
That November schedule is unbelievable for Philadelphia. They could lose every game. They could lose every one of those games potentially. I don't think they're going to, but they're not. What do we have a line in any of those 5 games higher than 6.5?
No.
Right? So they're all going to be 1-score games.
Absolutely.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Better be on the right side of the coin the majority of the time in November.
Yeah.
What a schedule. That is unreal. Then they play at Seattle. Tough game.
That's a coin flipper.
That's a loss to me.
Yeah, I would say loss.
Home for the Giants.
Win.
Home for Arizona.
Win.
At New York Giants.
Could be a win.
10 or 11.
It's 10 or 11. That's it.
Hard schedule. Cowboys win
the
11
beginning
games.
is not hard. That middle part is very hard. They have to be 5-1 after the first 6, I think.
Yeah, given what's coming at the end.
4-2 at worst.
Right.
What's the total?
11.5.
11.5.
Juiced under.
Man, oh man.
Right?
Good number. Again. It's 11. What's the top?
12? Yeah, that's top. 12 is top.
So one number, if you're going to bet this over, one number gets you there. Like, I don't see them going 13-4 with that middle stretch. Wow. That's an underplay. Got to be an underplay.
for one of the final times for us here before football.
Damn you. Huh.
Brigade.
Thought you were going to say another sentence. I was like waiting and it was just
Brigade Proxy, second to last time we'll play this. It'll be gone as of Monday. That this segment will be gone. If you are coming in here, and boy, you guys are going to have to get to us quickly. 702-570-8255 to sign up. We do have somebody coming in on Saturday. We are going to take care of them. So I will be down there on Saturday if we have to get you signed up for the last second. But please, if you're coming, come on down here. I will say this, though. There's going to be an overlay for the Circa Millions contest.
100%.
Okay. How big? It looks like it's going to be at least $1 million.
So an overlay to those of you that don't understand is there were guaranteed money in the pot. So $6 million in the pot. They're not going to get enough money collected in the entries to make $6 million. They're covering the difference. So you're getting a reward, money in a pot for something that they have to come out of pocket for.
I'm actually stunned that the Survivor hasn't already passed 8,000. Survivor is at 7,762 entries. That's an overlay of $238,000 at the start of this hour. They update it every 30 minutes on the website.
Yeah, that's going over. They don't have to worry about that.
The million.
They're taking entries till Saturday.
Right.
So
the million. I'm surprised we're not.
today.
I thought we were going to get 10,000 personally.
No.
So we're not getting 10,000 entries in that. Probably 9,000. Take another 1,000 or so.
I don't know. People are going to take their shot tonight with Detroit. And if it loses, they're going to rebuy.
That's amazing. It's such a unique hook. They should market that more aggressively that you got you can do that.
Yeah.
If you lose, you can rebuy on the Thursday. You're able to rebuy it before you get into the Saturday, the Sunday deadline or Saturday deadline. But 4,405 entries for Circa Million. That's a $1,595,000 overlay. 1.6 million at the moment.
I mean, it's worth taking your shot for a lot of people. That's worth taking a shot. No
so
question.
If you can get here physically, okay, if you are in Phoenix, if you are in Los Angeles, if you are in Utah, southern Utah, not really Salt Lake, if you are in parts of New Mexico, if you are in, a 4 to 5, 6 hour drive to Vegas, if you guys can get in a car and come here, it's worth the round trip fun. Come in, sign up, be a part of this contest, because you don't get overlays very often, especially an overlay that could be $1 million overlay.
Yeah.
If poker players would be getting on planes and flying to wherever
they might be. They might be. We might get a couple calls tomorrow.
Yeah, this is what poker players live for. Poker players live for overlays. They hunt them and they find contests to have overlays and they'll go after them. Meaning, it's a prize guarantee without the right amount of number of entries for the math. So you're getting into a guaranteed prize pool with fewer than the number of entries expected. Your odds are higher to win money when that happens. So that's why it's so significant for the Circa Millions. If you can get here, 702-570-8255. We got a guy from Colorado yesterday who watches the show every night on Sports Grid, on replay. It's how he got a hold of us for the proxy service. So I know there's a lot of you guys who are watching this show late night on Sports Grid. If you could find your way to Vegas, it's probably a pretty good idea to do it.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp might have nerve damage in his hamstring, Dave.
Oh.
This is bad.
Oh.
This is really, really bad. So they're just hinting at it at the moment, but they're seeing a specialist. Something is really wrong with Cooper Kupp. And we'll see if it's long-term, if it's short-term, but this is bad.
I don't want him in any fantasy leagues.
Nope. If the Rams don't have Cooper Kupp, are they going to have the worst record in the NFL? Do they tank?
I mean, again, with the tanking, I don't know how you tell players to lose, but is Stafford going to sit?
You could if you wanted to. Sure. Trade him. Trade him.
Right.
His wife's already out there talking about the fact that he's not dealing well with younger players.
Right.
Stafford, he's not relating well to the younger guys. Not good when Kelly Stafford her name. Yeah, is saying these things publicly.
The contest entries are $1,000 a piece, by the way. And then the proxy service is $300 for the first entry.
Yes.
So just letting guys know, they're asking in the chat, how much does this contest cost to enter?
Yeah. $1,000 entry, $300 for your first, $100 for all additional. So if you do multiple entries, it's $200 on average. So essentially, it would be, if you did 2 millions, it would be $2,400 total.
Right.
To get it. So break it up between 4 or 5 of your friends, $500 each.
You're in for the season.
You're in for the season.
Big number.
1 million for the 1 million, but then they do quarter prizes that could total up to $200,000 depending on how much money's in the pool.
Correct.
So,
I don't think there's like outright tanking, but like there's a decision that has to be made. That's why I like that San Francisco to win that division bet so much. Rams this is bad for them. They're going to be unable to compete without Cooper Kupp. Cardinals still haven't named a quarterback. I don't know what the hell they're doing. So,
officially haven't named a quarterback.
Right.
We think that it's going to be not Clayton Tune. Josh Dobbs is going to be the starter for the Cardinals. But
right.
I mean, we're seeing it already with people who are entering, who are doing different things. I mean, everyone's going to be going against all year the Cardinals.
Oh, it's number one choice this week.
Yeah.
Washington will be the number one choice in Survivor.
And in Circa Million. I think for both.
7? You're just going to lay it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Early in the season, yeah. I think we will see that.
I don't want that game.
Where's the Commander? Yeah, 7 with the Commanders there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see it. So, just so you guys know, I wanted to put this up before we get to bonus time. Let me pull this down real fast. I wanted to give you guys the Westgate numbers. So the Westgate, this is the Westgate's Super Contest numbers for the contests that they are doing, which you also can sign up for. It's also $1,000 for the Westgate Super Contest. They do it differently. They do it basically, the prize pool is based off of how many entries come in. So there's never an overlay here because they're not guaranteeing a prize pool. You need to have people in, and then it's determined after the fact about how much money. We'll find that out on Sunday, how much money first place will win and so on. As I said, the discrepancy I found quickly was just that 3.5 to 4 with the Patriots and the Steelers. With the Eagles with this. What do you think the number one pick is here? Do you like it's 4.5 with the Lions, Falcons, Panthers, 3.5. Are your Steelers? They're using 2.5. What's the closing number for 49ers Steelers? Is it going to be 3?
No.
It'll be 2.5.
Yeah.
It's a tough game.
That's a tough game. I don't know. To bounce it down to 2 today to see if somebody's going to lay it. I don't know. A lot of people are on the Steelers. You asked me that yesterday. Why am I not more excited? I don't know.
Bears Packers is only 1.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting a text from the Sports Grid guys.
Yeah. It's not bad. Chargers Dolphins is Dolphins at +3. So just so you guys see some of the differences between the two. There are differences in the numbers between the two contests. People like to look at the differences a little bit and see the differences and say, okay, where could I find value? Where could I see it? Where one they try to anticipate the line move a lot of times. This is supposed to be the closing number for the game, is what they're trying to guesstimate.
Well, not necessarily. A lot of times, yes and no. They're really good about that, of trying to make it so it's not a stale number.
Yeah. So is that anticipating where the line's going to go?
Well, yes and no, but you can't put it somewhere where it's never going to go either. That's okay. I talked to Murray about this in the past. If you think it's going to close 3, you can't use 3. Because if it never gets to 3, you get all one side on that game.
Okay.
So you have to sit with a number.
And by the way, real fast before we let go of sports grid, we just it's Eagles Day. So there's your Eagle.
EAGLES. That guy ain't bad.
He ain't bad.
It's okay. He ain't
It ain't bad. For you guys who are watching live on YouTube and on Twitter, do not move. You're getting bonus time here in just 1 second. For those on Sirius XM channel 159, and for those who are on Sports Grid Television, thank you for watching us. Tomorrow is a thing called Roll Call Friday. You XM folks, you've never been a part of a Roll Call Friday. First time for you guys. I think you're going to want to hang out tomorrow. We are back tomorrow for a Roll Call Friday for you on XM and for Sports Grid. If you are with us on YouTube and Twitter, do not move. Time for bonus time. Right into it.
Whoa.
Ooh, hey, what? Into the first better to book it of the football season as we run right into it. Over 53
numbers. And so what are you doing here?
I just hit it once and it didn't like me for some reason.
Gotcha.
Didn't hit the way I wanted to.
Wow.
Over 53, Lions and the Chiefs tonight. Betting it or booking it?
Is it this obvious?
Oh, it's week 1, so maybe it is.
I can't shake the book guy in me. I want to need under tonight. I'm gonna book it. I'm gonna book it.
Don't you need a over given the line move early?
No. Limits today. This is day of game limits.
No.
We'll need under. When
Okay.
it's going 54 last night to 53.5, we're just moving it down, trying to find it again, because it was 52 at one point a while ago. Some other books, I mean, like I'm looking at the history here in Vegas. They were never at 52. So,
yeah, FanDuel's the only one I saw, but FanDuel was at 52.5 last night.
yeah, 54.5 started 54, 53, 52.5 was a low, went all the way back up to 54.
And FanDuel had the lowest number on the planet that I saw for the Niners to win the division. They had minus 165. Everybody else was 180. Everybody else was 180.
Really?
Yeah, 15 cents lower.
Oh my.
I don't know why.
Whew.
For the NFC West, it was weird. They hit with Seattle money. I don't know. It was
Right.
weird. It was strange. So it was a good number to get last night. Your favorite thing are back, Dave. Player props are back.
Excellent. There we go.
Running back David Montgomery over 11.5 receiving yards. Here's the theory.
Okay.
Chiefs are gonna have to blitz more because without Chris Jones, they can't get pressure. And if you don't get pressure on Jared Goff, he's gonna stand back there and pick you apart. And St. Brown and company can have big games. So I think they're gonna blitz more. Thus, I think in the offensive line, it's very good for the Lions. They're athletic, they can get out. The screen game tonight is going to be a big part of their offense.
Mm-hmm.
I like Montgomery to get a couple of screen passes to go over 11.5 receiving yards.
I wish you will. How many balls is he going to catch?
I mean, it really depends on the way the game
What's
goes.
his reception number?
2 or 3. Oh, 2.5 is his reception number.
Good luck with this.
Yeah, just
I
need
hope
one.
he catches it on one. I
Yeah,
will
and
book
goes.
it,
Yeah.
but I hope he catches it on one pass because he
And
might
then-
only catch one pass.
And then this one was stunning. Okay. So
Yeah.
our friends over at Betting Pros, there's an application, there's an algorithm that goes ahead and projects what they think is going to happen from a prop bet perspective. This was the number 2 most recommended play at plus 140, Marvin Jones Jr. over 2.5 receptions. There's no Jamison Williams in this game. They have Amon St. Brown
Mm-hmm.
and Marvin Jones is the second option receiver wise. They're going to throw the ball a ton tonight. I like the over. I like offense. Yes, they're going to run, but I think play action comes into play. And I think Jared Goff's going to throw the ball 25 to 30 times tonight. I think Marvin Jones is going to get targeted 4 to 5 times minimum in this game.
Do you?
I do.
Well, if he gets that, I'll say bet it. He's got to get at least 5 targets to get over 2.5 receptions because he's not catching every ball that comes his way.
He might. I mean, there could be this is just a catch. This could be a bubble screen. This could be a slant.
Right.
This is just get the ball into his hands, not yards. Just get 3 catches. Plus 140 is worth the shot.
Take your word for it. These props, I can't wait. I'm going to go on Sports Grid later tonight, talk about props for 2 hours.
2 hours?
Cubs. Well, yeah. I mean, that's what we're going to be talking. We're going to be talking about the game. Kids are texting me now. What props you like? Oh boy, I don't like props. I'll talk about them. We'll watch the game. We'll be able to determine the in-game props. But 2 hours of props, I think. Please, let's talk about the games. I'll be watching the baseball, bro.
You're not watching football tonight?
No, I'll have it on. It's on regular TV, right? So I can flip back and forth.
Thursday night, it is not.
Thursday night football, yeah. It's NBC, is it not?
Oh, it's It's the kickoff special. It is NBC. Right.
Yeah.
Next week, it's on Amazon. Yeah, it's NBC. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, NBC there. There are no super chat questions for today, so we can go right into favorite thing about today.
Leaving here, I'm going down to the Westgate to put that season wins contest entry in. So we'll either talk on the phone, I'll meet you down there. We'll put that in, get that taken care of. And again, you guys did it in the Discord. If there's a way to get those numbers, Perrault, get them, I'll put the entry in for the brigade. But it ain't gonna win no money. You don't win no money. But if you just want a separate entry, we'll do BVB Brigade or BVB and then BVB Brigade or something. I don't know. We'll think of it. But we got a couple hours to do it. You got to get back and get Maddie after school. Then I got Sports Grid later. Very, very busy day. We got people sending their picks. We're getting these text alerts. We got to get ready to enter picks all weekend. Football season is here. All that being said, thoughts, prayers with Will and his family and everything going on there. You guys Google that story. It's tragic. It's one of us. Will loves this show. He loves being a part of this show.
He does.
He's done a tremendous job for us.
Yes.
Will, brother, I'm thinking of you, thinking of your family, and wishing nothing but, peace at some point, finding peace in a very tragic situation.
Well said. My favorite thing about today are the pictures that are being currently populating our Discord channel with Rainmaker Lou running around Vegas. It's awesome. It's really fun to see him. He's taking pictures in front of all the different places and posting them and everything that he's doing in different sports books and in the canal shops and everything else. He's running around in Caesars and the Crystal shop, whatever those are called. Those shops in Caesars are called.
Yeah.
It's just fun. It's always fun when someone comes to Vegas who's not here very often, is super excited to be here and just gets to run around town and you get to remember what that was like. So I hope they're having the time of their life. When are we signing them up? Tomorrow?
Depending on the chicanery that goes on today, might be this evening after.
Okay.
I'll be on in-game live from 5 to 7 Pacific, which is 8 to 10 Eastern. It might be after that.
Okay.
Depending on how the game goes. He is literally here for the first time. So he's seeing Vegas for the first time, living it up.
Wow.
And
a football. Are they staying the whole weekend?
Yes.
Oh, they're staying till Sunday. Look out. They're going to be
yesterday. It's a marathon.
You got to be careful because Sunday morning you could sleep through the games.
Yeah, he's not doing that.
You'll forget that the games kick at 10 o'clock. You're going to go to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning on Saturday night and realize, oh no, the games kick at 10. I got to get my bets in. I got to get up. So you got to be careful on that with that, guys. Yeah. But so it'll be fun to see those guys and have live through them a little bit vicariously. Yes. Should be fun.
Yes.
Hit the like button, subscribe button, be a part of the program. If you have not done so as of yet, please do hit the bell so you know where we go live. Tomorrow is the first football Roll Call Friday. Buckle up. That's going to be a lot of fun. We will talk to you tomorrow for a full Saturday, Sunday breakdown and a recap of Thursday night tomorrow for BVB.